Welcome everyone to Coaching in Session. My name is Michael Reardon and I will be your mindset coach today. And today we're going to be talking about my most recent blog, 5 Powerful Brain Hacks That We Must Know. I go into depth today on this blog and it was by an accident. Now, did the brain hacks work for me? I guess so, because I wrote about 6 pages on a Google Doc. Whenever I have an idea, and it's a good idea, I'm like, oh, that would be great to write some brain hacks, because it comes to me, it's like, oh yeah, people need to know about these brain hacks, but it's difficult to make it where it's just so simple. It's like, oh, these are the 5 brain hacks. These are the secret tips that you have to follow. And then all of a sudden you're on the right track. There's a lot of guidance that needs to happen. Coaching is not something that is just done for you. It's like, okay, just read this and you're going to be A-okay. There's going to be a lot of trial and error. There's going to be a lot of manipulation that has to happen on your end, to pivoting, to just understanding if something works for you or doesn't work for you. Scheduling, time, money, all of those can be factors for if these 5 brain hacks will be beneficial for you. Now, I will say everyone can benefit from more than one of these brain hacks. So people are going to be operating in the realm of 2 to 3, definitely. And if you can reach all 5, then that's going to be even great. But just to get these brain hacks down, you're going to begin to change your whole life. So let's get into that blog right now, and then we can break down what I wrote. All right, if you're new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video and or audio to help build a community of like-minded individuals who want to take their life to a new level. And today, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be bringing you to a new level, a level that you have never reached before. You're going to be wondering, well, Michael, how am I going to reach this level? Well, these brain hacks are powerful. It's not just in the title, right? 5 powerful brain hacks to enhance your quality of life. It is there. When I was writing this blog, it was something that I had in my mind for about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, because it was easy to come up with the brain hacks. It was more challenging to come up with the explanations that was going to be palatable to the brain, because we need examples more than just, okay, this is the brain hack. How do I do it? Here in Coaching in Session, here at Relevant Concepts, let alone Coaching in Session, we make it so it's as easy and as micro organized as possible. That's what I do in coaching. I don't just say, well, if you want to be wealthy, you need to create passive income. Okay, thank you, Michael, for telling me that secret. Well, what is passive income? Now you got to do all this research. What is passive income? Then you have to figure out how to make passive income. And then you have to figure out how to fund your passive income. And it's just like, we should have started from ground zero, right? We should have just said, well, in order to create passive income, we have to do the building blocks to passive income. This is the first building block, and we build from there. Once you have that building block, we do number 2, number 3, and then passive income will follow. The same thing is true for these 5 powerful brain hacks. And the 5 powerful brain hacks are going to be as followed. Number 1, meditation and mindfulness. Number 2, exercise. Number 3, sleep. Number 4, eating quality foods. And number 5, brain training and mindset training. Can there be more than these 5 brain hacks? Of course. Yes, there can be more than these 5 brain hacks that I have laid out so wonderfully for you. But you want to figure out, well, which ones resonate with you, which ones don't. Because you might find that, you don't really want to exercise that much. Yeah, you might be really into brain training and mindset training. So at least you have some focus there. You might not want to meditate, but maybe you can be mindful, or maybe you can get some more sleep and build up your exercise routine and regimen. These are not mandatory hacks. I want people to understand that forefront, because if I'm just saying these are the 5 hacks you need in order to make your quality of life, no, it's not true. These are 5 powerful hacks that will change your life if you want to implement them. Do you have to implement them all? No. Do you have to implement them at the same time? No. You can implement them in processes and waves, however you want it, right? You get to create that for yourself. For me, the most powerful ones are number 2, exercise, 3, sleep, and 5, mindset training. Now, those are my most used ones. 4 comes next, and then number 1 is meditation and mindfulness. It sounds crazy, right? These are not in order. Meditation and mindfulness is just one of those things that come to your mind when you are, I'm thinking about some brain hacks. What can I do, right? Meditate. be more mindful, gratitude. Those ways of thinking can be powerful, but just how I gave you my order, you're going to have your own order too. So I encourage you to take a look at this, understand what order those brain hacks are in for you, and then I want you to just listen to this episode. And when we get to those sweet parts that are for you, meaning if you are a number 3 and sleep is your brain hack, let's utilize that area so you can be the best in that area. This blog is, again, lengthy. It is long. As you can see, if you're on YouTube, it goes down for a bit. Now, this was an accident. I didn't mean to write this much. I said I'm going to write 2 pages. It was 6. I don't know how that happened. It's like I wanted to write a book for y'all. Now, I am a writer. I have the first book coming out. Again, this brain hack, like 5 powerful brain hacks, is like a blog, and it's supposed to be quick. And, you read it and you're like, yeah, right, I got these 5 hacks. It's like now you read this and now you're able to write a thesis paper. I'm excited for you to read this blog because it has so much good content that we're not going to talk about today. I will be breaking down the 5 areas for you, but I encourage you to read this blog so you can check out the examples, so you can check out the difference in mindset and just the structure of these different areas and the different hacks and how you can utilize them in your life today. So as I said, the 5 brain hacks are going to be number 1, meditation, mindfulness, 2, exercise, 3, sleep, 4, eating quality foods, and 5, brain training and mindset training. These are in no order. We will be talking about them in order. Number 1, meditation and mindfulness. This is going to be one of those things where if someone has ever said that you need to be in control of your mind, they say to do some meditation. They say, all right, sit down on a cushion or sit down and be quiet or sit down in the forest and just be still and be one with your thoughts. The issue is that we live in such a busy world and such a chaotic world where not many people can quiet their minds very easily. I talk about a story in the blog where I'm saying, like I have a friend and we're doing meditation and then, she's just having a hard time meditating. And I mean, even when I started meditating, it was not an easy task. It was something that I had to get used to. It was something that I had to acclimate toward. Yes, today I can meditate. Yes, today I can be mindful. It helps me. But for me, it's not so much of being still anymore. It's about creating a purpose. Now, you can create a purpose in your meditation. You can create a purpose within your mindfulness area or realm. When it comes to that, it's learning about yourself. And I know myself pretty decently. But for most people, they don't do the introspection that they should be doing. Most people want to ignore the problems. Most people want to put a band-aid over the issue. Most people don't want to look in the mirror and tell themselves the truth. If you're overweight, you say you're overweight. If you're unhappy, you say you're unhappy. If you're not successful, you're not successful. And this is not an attack on you. I want people to understand this is not an attack on you. This is just for you to understand how much you need to grow into the person that you know you can be. And it's astonishing how many people run from it. And it's bewildering why people would hide from their potential. Yet they do it every single day. Yet they chalk it up to circumstance or they chalk it up to an excuse. But when you meditate and you become mindful of your situation, there's no hiding from it. And that's why people sometimes don't want to do meditation. And that's why sometimes people don't want to be mindful, because they don't want to pay attention to their situation. They don't want to see their hardship and they don't want to see what they're not doing. Because when I get a client and they come to me for the first time, most of the time, I would say 90% of the clients I work with, I write out a 24-hour schedule for them. And I say, listen, we're going to write out your 24 hours and you're going to tell me what you do. So you might go to work, you might come home and watch TV or play video games, or you might go to sleep early or sleep late. You might be on your phone doing whatever, right? All of your day might be comprised of things that don't matter. So that means your time on the phone, your time on the sofa, unless spending time with family, doesn't matter. So we have wasted time in our day because everyone has 24 hours in our day. What separates the people who are wildly successful? Time. How do they utilize their time? We have to build routines, build structures, build systems, and then have accountability. When you meditate, when you become mindful, you start to pay attention to what you do. So this area is powerful right? This brain hack is powerful because it's going to say, hey, you need to be accountable. Hey, you need to be doing this instead of doing whatever you're doing. For some people, they're going to have a hard time in this realm. This is where, again, getting someone who's going to help you through that process. I didn't go through yoga and meditation by myself. I had a yoga teacher. I had a yoga instructor. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't be where I am today. Or if I went on that journey by myself, I would still probably be on that journey. When you have a teacher, when you have a coach, when you have a mentor, when you have a guide, you get there so much quicker. And meditation is guided, because if you can be guided to understanding yourself, your meaning, your potential, your purpose, your passions, all of those wonderful things, you're going to find you get there quicker with a teacher. Just saying. And then we go into the brain hack number 2, my favorite, exercise. Exercise does so many wonderful things. Builds confidence, builds endurance and energy. It gives you discipline. I mean, we can go all day on what exercise does, but exercise is the one thing or the first thing that people sacrifice. Oh, I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to do this. I'm working all day. I have 2 jobs. Okay, but you have time to go on your phone and watch a YouTube short. You have time to go on TikTok. You have time to, laugh at funny memes or go on social media and tweet about something. But yet you don't have time to be in a better body. You don't have time to exercise, huh? Because at the end of the day, we all have time. It's just that, do we make priority? Do we make health and wellness a priority? And the majority of people don't make health and wellness the priority, and for good reason, right? Because there's nothing wrong with them yet. However, the moment they get a doctor's note, now it's a priority. But then, even then, there's going to be some people who have problems in their life. High blood pressure, diabetes, maybe an illness, bad joints, osteoporosis, whatever. Guess what they're going to do? Nothing. It's too late. Poor me. It already happened. So they get into this mindset that they are the victims, or they get into this mindset that they are unable to change their circumstance. That's a limiting belief there. And that's what we do. We turn those around. Yes, you might have gained something that's a negative aspect to health and wellness, but it doesn't mean it can't be controlled. It doesn't mean that we can't conquer it. For the people who get sick and they beat and they recover from those illnesses, those people have wonderful mindsets because they understand, like, I have to get better. I will get better. And the body knows. The body knows what to do. And especially if you help it with treatment, it's going to be even better. But we have a problem. We think that there could be a quick fix for everything. Oh, I gained a bunch of weight. Let me go get a bypass or whatever. Let me go get all the fat sucked out of me, or, whatever it be. Let me go get some staples in my stomach. It might be a quick fix. It might be a healthy option, right? I'm not saying that those options are bad, but we also have a good and better option. And that better option is going to be you taking action. You getting your booty in gear and you getting into that gym and you getting sweaty. It's not pretty in the beginning. You're sore. You're uncomfortable. You might even be a little bit self-conscious because you're in the gym and people might be looking at you. Well, guess what? No one cares. If you're in the gym, they respect you for being in the gym. For example, today was leg day for me. Now, I'm in the gym. Everything was going good. There was a girl I never seen in the gym before. She drops some weight. And I'm just kind of looking in her direction. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I dropped this weight. No one really looked. No one really cared. I just went out on my workout. I'm not going to be like, oh, she dropped the weight and things like that. Oh, boo-hoo. Let me go tell her, shame her. No, it wasn't that. Accidents happen. She's in there working out, trying to be more healthy, trying to be more fit. Who am I to roll up on her and say, hey, you need to stop dropping the weights. You're interrupting my workout. The only thing that would have done is made her even more self-conscious than she probably already is or was at the time. And now she's not coming in the gym anymore. That's not what we want. And everyone in the gym knows that. So when you go to the gym, understand it's about working out, being better. But we have to become regimented in that. We have to create a system. It's difficult to do it by yourself. Even at points in my life, I had to get a trainer. Not that I need a trainer. It's just that I needed someone to hold me at a higher accountability level because I wasn't showing up, because I was letting all the world get on me. I was letting all my traumas take over and all my depressions rule me in my actions and my behaviors. And I said, you know what? I need someone to hold me accountable. You can get a coach, you can get a trainer. It doesn't matter how you do it when it comes to exercise. Your health and your wellness matter. So get into gear. And in this area, I'm talking about the benefits of working out. And then, of course, some tips and tricks how you can start working out even more. The next is maybe my most favorite, but not my most used one, is sleep. Sleep is one of those things we take for granted. We get bags in our eyes. You probably see me on the podcast sometimes. I probably have bags under my eyes right now where it's like you're doing so much. You're just doing too much. You're not getting enough sleep. But sometimes that's reality. I remember one time when I was still a teacher and I was in the car line and I had just bought my dog for the first time. She was a puppy. She cried at night. She needed to go out it seemed like every hour. And I'm just like, Jesus. And she's just crying in her crate. And so I had to sleep on the floor for the first couple of nights so she can get used to just being in the house, being in the crate. Eventually, after some months, she was able to sleep, next to the bed because she wasn't like peeing everywhere. She was, potty trained for the most part. But in the beginning, let me tell you, that's difficult. It is extremely exhausting to have a puppy and to train that dog. I didn't get any sleep. Now it's like you don't have to look at it as a pet. You can look at it as a human where maybe you have a new kid. I'm a survivor of that too, where I had a kid last year and, it's just a whole life turn, right? Every 2 hours they have to eat. You have to change your diapers. You literally changing diapers with your eyes closed like this. You're just like changing diapers. You just become a professional at it. It's difficult to get some good rest when you have a little one, especially if you're a parent, because you want them to be good. You want to make sure that they're still breathing and that there's nothing wrong with them and that everything is going according to plan, them growing up, being safe and happy. Well, I would wake up and I would look at him and I would say, okay, he's breathing. It's just like I was just giving myself shock after shock. And I'm telling you, the bags under my eyes for the first months of just having a baby were ridiculous. Even though babies sleep quite a bit, it was almost like, yes, you're sleeping, but I have work to do too. I have a business to run and I have podcasts to record. It was a lot, but we managed. And it's even more difficult when you don't have family. We live in Texas by ourselves. We don't have family here. So it's a lot of hard work. We hired a babysitter, a nanny. They did a terrible job. So it's like they get fired and it's like, what do? We can't find good help anymore. We don't have family around. It's sacrifice at this point. What do we sacrifice? We sacrifice sleep. Sometimes, you just have the kid and the kid will be on you or next to you and just all of a sudden you're just knocked out. So my wife and I, we have pictures of us just knocked out, just sleeping with the kid because we're just so exhausted. That is what happens sometimes when you have responsibilities that take precedence over sleep. Yet sleep is a powerful thing. Sleep can help us become energized. It is important for our repair in our body, in our mind. And if we don't get enough sleep, we're going to go a little cuckoo. So we need to get sleep. We need to prioritize sleep. Now that my kid is older, it's a lot easier for me to get the sleep, to run the business and do everything I have to do. We manage. You will manage. But you do have to make sure that at some point you get back on track, a good sleep cycle. It doesn't have to be 8 hours straight. You can be a sleeper that sleeps every couple of hours. That's what I do right now, where I sleep anywhere from 3 to 5 hours when I know I can get some long sleep. And when I am during the day, I'll get an hour to maybe 2 hours of sleep. It is extremely effective for me to get that type of sleep. Yes, I get my 5 hours at one point and then I get the rest a little bit later. It might not be the full 8, but it is close to what I need. And then on a day off, when I don't have meetings, when I don't have many obligations, I'm going to be catching up on my rest. Now, I might not sleep 8 hours straight because my body is just always just jumping up like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do this. But when I feel tired on my day off, if I have a day off, I say, you know what, I'm going to rest. I'm not going to push myself. So if I'm doing a recording, I'm doing an edit, if I'm doing some writing, if I'm meeting people, now I'm not going to fall asleep during a meeting, of course. The whole process of me going through that sleep process is this important right now? Or is my sleep more important? Sleep wins. So if I'm at the computer and I'm nodding off and I'm just like, oh, wait, oh, let me take a step back. Let me go to the bed. Let me lie down for a little bit. And that helps me become energized so much more quicker than me trying to force it and then me just having a terrible day. And then we get into number 4, quality foods, eating quality foods. This one is a quick one. It's not going to be a long explanation. You eat quality foods, you feel better. If you eat fast food all day, you're going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel slow. That is just how it is when it comes to food. Your body just needs so much more than what a fast food place will give you. Going to McDonald's and getting a salad is not helpful. They use iceberg lettuce, right? It doesn't have much, if any, nutritional value to you. Yes, it's a filler. It'll fill you up, but there's not much there for your body to use and utilize so it can get the nutrients it needs. So you have to fill your body with everything you need, right? So if you eat fish or meat or eggs, dairy, grains, there's so many different things your body needs. But then you also have to know, does your body like it? Because eating quality foods is wonderful, but if you're eating the wrong foods, your body might actually be becoming inflamed. And there's a great book called The Inflammation Spectrum. You don't even have to buy the book. Just kind of read the title and then kind of read what it says. Basically, what the book is saying is that there's certain foods that cause inflammation in people because people are intolerant to foods or they have allergies to food. Even though they might not know it, even though they can eat it and there's no problems, certain foods are going to be better suited for certain people. For example, me and rice, we're not friends anymore. Growing up, I would have rice all the time, but today, if I have rice, it's like, boom, gain all this weight. So rice and me don't get along, but I love it. Can I have it? Yes, in small amounts. It was something I figured out for myself. In the book, The Inflammation Spectrum, they are talking about how to figure out what foods are good for you and what foods are causing problems for you. So they'll say, all right, this week we're going to get rid of all the nuts, all the dairies, all the grains, etc., and they'll give you only a certain amount of foods you're supposed to be eating. And you just kind of figure out where your body's going. Sometimes your body is doing a really great job. And it's like, yes, your body's doing good, losing weight, feeling good, energetic. Your muscles are, popping up. Like, oh yeah, this is looking good. But sometimes you might eat something, you're just more tired than usual. You're just like, whoa, like, what's wrong with me? I had a good meal, but now I'm just feeling sluggish. It's because our body is going through food that is just not helpful for our body. Everyone has a different body. We have different minds too. And our body is going to have to go through that. Yes, you want to give yourself fruits and veggies and all of those wonderful things your body needs, but you should learn your body too. So a brain hack here is not only to eat quality foods and healthy foods more than you eat bad foods, but to understand what type of foods work for you, work best for you. And then our last brain hack is number 5, brain training and mindfulness or mindset training. When it comes to brain training, you're going to think about, oh, I can do puzzles, oh, I can do math, oh, I can do Sudokus and stuff like that. Those types of games are very helpful to brain training. However, brain training is more than just education and learning. There are going to be things that can fortify our brain more than a book, more than a puzzle. Things like martial arts, for example. Martial arts are going to be a great sport or a great way for you to hit 2 birds, 1 stone. You get exercise and you also get some brain training because you do have to be fortified mentally in order to do martial arts. Because if you see an obstacle like one of those wood things you have to break, you might be like, I don't want to break this wood. It's going to hurt my hand or something like that. That's the limit in our mind. We go through it, of course, because of brain training. And when we do that, we fortify our mind and we also fortify our body. Another way to do this is by taking cold showers or an ice bath. They are extremely helpful at reducing stress and helping your brain become more potent, more powerful. It was something that I didn't realize I had growing up. Of growing up, we didn't have a furnace. We had to like go on the stove to warm up water, and we'll bring it upstairs and put it in the bath, and we'll mix it with the cold water. And eventually, once we had like, like this much water, we can take a bath. But it wasn't easy to do it that way. Very dangerous too, but we did it. That was how we had to live life. Though it was not easy to take cold showers, we got used to it. So I would go in the shower and I would start jumping around like, some music came on and I'm having a party. Yeah, the only reason I was doing it is because my body's just like, oh my God, this is crazy. We didn't see it as, oh my goodness, this is painful. It was like, this is fun. My body was like, this is fun. And now if I do it, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is pretty cold. Now I do it because I understand the benefit of it. If I'm doing it because I know the benefit of it, my mindset is automatically like, all right, endure it, go through it, push through it. All right, there's something you're going to get out of it. But if I'm in the shower and I'm just trying to take a shower real quick and the water hits me, ooh, cold water, right? I'm not thinking, right? I have to be in the right mindset to go on that cold water, not just, right, the water hit me, oh, I'm not going to feel it. So our brain is so powerful. Our body knows how to react and it adapts to it. And early on when we had our kid, my wife would bathe the kid with, warm water and, what you're supposed to do, right? With a baby, right? Babies are delicate in my head. Like, you have to take care of a baby. But then my wife's over here splashing cold water on him. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm going to say something. But then something amazing happened. I said, you know what? Let me not say anything, because we have a rule where we raise the kid according to how we want to raise the kid. Because I might have a way of raising the kid and she might not be for it, and vice versa. So if I want him to have a strong mindset, I might say, get up, I'm not helping you up. But she might be like, oh, he needs help. So it's just a different mindset. Neither is wrong. But again, she's a woman, I'm a male. We have different emotional avenues. Okay, she's going to be more emotional than me. Nothing wrong with that. We need that balance in a relationship when you raise a kid. If you don't have it, the kid is messed up. I'm sorry. The kid is going to have a lot more challenges later on. You might not know, but they have to have a variation in the sexes. They have to learn from a man. They have to learn from a woman. Okay. There's no emotional intelligence aspect here. We're not getting into that, but mindfulness of it, right? So she started splashing him with water. He started crying. I don't want to hear him cry, but bit my tongue. Something amazing happened. Probably after 3 weeks, he stopped crying. He's like, I'm not going to cry. Yeah, it's cold water, whatever. He fortified himself. He's a baby. Why don't we do that as adults? Today, this boy is tougher as iron. He's 1. You knock him over, nothing. He's over here beating up people bigger than him. And he knows he can. His mindset is powerful already. Maybe it's a mix of how she's raising him and how I'm raising him. But he has the potential to be something. I'm not going to force him to be anything he doesn't want to be. From what I've seen, he has what it takes to go above and beyond what most of the kids of the world today are going to be able to accomplish. This is not because he's my son and I'm just talking about him, like at the same time, I'm going to call him out on his BS too. But he's showing up right now. He's only 1. What we are doing, how we are presenting him to the world, or what we're influencing him, or what we are teaching him and having him experience is all about controlling the brain. And these 5 powerful brain hacks, meditation and mindfulness, exercise, sleep, eating quality foods, and brain training and mindset training are going to be a critical factor in helping anyone of any age understand how powerful they can be and how they can change the quality of their life. So when it comes to these brain hacks, I want you to understand that, again, you can make them any way you want. I talk about so many more examples in the blog. As you can see, the blog is a long one. It's not going to be a quick read. It's going to be a longer read. Even this podcast episode is a longer episode because it's difficult to talk about these, explain these, and then give you a perspective of how you can incorporate them into your life. You might have heard something today like, oh, I never thought about that, or oh, that would be a great thing to implement. That's a good thing. But the issue is not going to be whether you implement it or not. It's whether you keep implementing it. So you might meditate today, like, oh, look, I meditated today. Cool, right? I'm a yogi. No, you're not. You're right. You meditated once. Yes, you ate a salad last night, but you're eating a pizza today. Yes, you went to the gym last year, but what about this year? We have to look at it in the long term too. We have to create a consistency in these brain hacks because these secrets that are in this blog, all the tips that I didn't even talk about today, because there's even more, are in here to help you be more proactive in your life, be more productive in your day, and to continue to enhance where you are and get you closer to where you want to be. For the people who are having a hard time living life, I encourage you to read this whole entire blog. For the people who are doing well, you can probably listen to this podcast and you can be on the right track. But it doesn't matter where you are. Anyone can benefit from these 5 hacks. And then understanding which ones you prefer, which ones you gravitate toward, and which ones you implement best in your life. Because these brain hacks will enhance the quality of your life. They will put you in a better mindset, and they will give you the success and the fuel to reach the goals in your most desired self. My name is Michael Reardon. I'm a mindset coach. If you have any questions, you can email me coachinginsession@gmail.com, and I will see everyone on the next episode of Coaching in Session. Until then, everyone take care.